You asked a really pivotal question. I want you to repeat your question, please, one more time, bro.
All right, so the way I be looking at it, it's like I will deal with a girl, and whole time, like she's playing her part, she's doing her thing, but then as soon as we split, you get the little after the little back and forth, the fuck you, they get this and that. Like I see her just start to change her life dramatically, and I don't know if it's actually a show or if it's actual changes. I see like she'll lose weight, start eating different, doing stuff that I feel like the same things that I felt like, damn, if she was doing them while we were in the relationship, it would have been a better relationship, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
But she was complacent and didn't feel like she needed to do that, while we were going through it. And I don't know if it's like the song and dance that they know, like they lost a good dude, or if they're just trying to attract other niggas, or I don't really know, or if it's a ploy to get me back, or I don't really know. And part of me is like, some of it is food for thought, and then the other half is like, I just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But it may be a mix of everything. I don't really know.
you should. It's a mix of multiple things, right? And you're 100% correct. It's a mix of multiple things. Number one and number two. These are the two I'm going to start with because they play a relationship on each other, right? So you said you'll see
Mhm.
them level up after you, and you'll
Yeah.
wonder you'll wonder why, right? Well, when you were with them, how many things did you express that you wanted them to change?
I felt like just by being with me, like I do stuff without being told to do.
I
Like
know, but
nobody got to
that's
tell
not
me
what
to
I
do stuff.
asked you. That's not what I asked you.
Yeah,
I asked you how many
yeah.
things you told them you wanted to change or you wanted them to change.
I'll tell it. I'll soft check them. I'll tell them this is you should do this. I'll make the suggestion. I don't know if I really went out my way to tell them like this is what you need to do,
Okay.
but I definitely make the suggestion.
So if you didn't go out your way to tell them, if you didn't go out your
Yeah.
way to make it seen as an expectation, how in the hell are they supposed to know it's an expectation?
Okay.
Right? So a lot of times we will be upset at women's performance, right? And we'll be upset at their lack of following, but we will never comb our own leadership, right? We'll never comb our own leadership. Now, that's not necessarily a knock to you,
Hmm.
but it is a call to ask yourself, how often, how often do I ask a woman of something, right? That I don't even know how to properly articulate to her? How often do I expect a woman to do something or to be something or to have something or to grow in some way if I can't even articulate that? So that's one point. Another point is this, and these two things often play a you know a give and take with each other. But the other thing is this: a lot of women don't believe that improvement is something they should do for a man. They think it's something they should do in spite of a man, right? So
Okay.
so if you're working with a woman who thinks improvement is something that she should do in spite of a man, and usually that spite means attracting another one, which is hilarious because the same thing that you do to attract another man as a woman is the same thing you'll probably do to keep your man. Right? So it essentially they still got to go back to working out, right? It's just
Yeah.
psychologically a lot of women, especially intersectional feminists, will say, I will not do this for a man, but really they're things they should do for themselves, right? um
Hmm.
and oftentimes there is a significant importance in men recognizing, okay, when I date for fun, do I then expect this woman to form fit my future? And the answer is yes. A lot of times when men date for fun, they expect this woman that they were fucking for fun to now form fit a picture that they thought would fit their future, right? That is
Yeah.
what turning a hoe into a housewife means. None of you niggas came into this shit looking for no wife. If you got a wife, would you know how to instruct her? Would you know how to motivate her? Would you know how to teach her? Would you know how to get her to be better? Right? It takes a lot of real motivation and real love and real patience to help a woman grow into a better woman. Just the same way it takes a lot of motivation, a lot of love, and a lot of patience to help a man grow into a better man. Right? Y'all
Hell
niggas,
yeah.
y'all niggas date flamingos and want them bitches to turn into ravens. Y'all be dating ostriches and want them to turn into peacocks. Nah, you can't do that. And that's why I tell men, stop dating for fun and then getting mad when your future's affected. And if you're dating for your future, it's not going to be as fun. And that is something that you have to deal with within yourself, right? And this is why the masculinist content gets such a bad rep. Masculinist content gets such a bad rep because young guys who are dating for fun are now quoting men who were dating for future, and they're doing it badly, right?
Yeah.
Women being ain't shit has nothing to do with your lack of leadership skills. And most men absolutely lack leadership skills because y'all only learned how to fuck, right? You don't you have way less practice, right? Like for example, bro, I'm a trainer, bro. Men's girls come to me to help them make their body and their diet and their choices better, right? You have to think it's not that they won't listen to a man because I'm a man and they listen to me. A lot of them listen to me, right? They listen to me. They don't listen to their man, though. Why don't they listen to their man? Capability, bro. Competency gets compensated. Word to KS, RIP. Competency gets compensated, right? A lot of
Yeah.
niggas want so much out of their shorty, but you have to remember, you haven't spent much time making yourself a hell of a man. You just have crazy genetics, and so women lust after you. But that doesn't mean you're a capable leader. That doesn't make you a capable nigga. It just makes you a nigga who's able to make women wet, right? It just means you can make women wet. But that has nothing to do with your ability to inspire her to pursue a better career or to pursue a healthier lifestyle, right? Or to, even if that's something you're doing within yourself, right? If how many fat shorties you see with fit men, and these fit men work out all the time, eat right all the time, but they shorty don't do it. He does it. So that just because you embody that, you feel like you don't have to be told to do the right things. That's not every woman. And again, if that's something that's important to you, why didn't you put that in your list for dating for fun? Because that's not a dating for fun requirement. That's a dating for future requirement, right? And so
Right.
you keep looking at ostriches and wondering why they're not peacocks. And that's your fault. That's your fault. And this is why I say women are not the problem. Women can only do what men allow them to do. And so far, all men have been doing for thousands of years is letting women absolutely take full advantage of their lack of sexual control, right? Your lack of
Right.
sexual control has led you down certain paths, just like my lack of self control has led me down certain paths, right? And those paths, are costly. I paid for mine, you paid for yours, every man pays for his. But ultimately, there is a system at large that enables certain issues to be exacerbated and to be exaggerated in terms of how much they affect men's lives, right? And so that is an issue that needs to be changed. But The bigger issue that is more immediate is why in the world do y'all keep dating for fun and thinking it's going to transition into a future? It's not going to transition into a future. Futures are forged. They're not flimsy fun. Run that back. Futures are forged. They're not flimsy fun. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
you thinking, oh, this shorty level up after me, it could be a combination of those one of two things that I mentioned, right? Your leadership skills, you may not have been the right motivator or the right person to get her to do that, right? But also, she may not believe that you're that men in general are worthy to do that, even if you were a great leader, even if you was Genghis fucking Khan. Some women don't believe that they should listen to a man ever, right? Even though she'll break something, she'll call a man to fix it. She'll be in danger, she'll call a man to help her, right? But she'll still think men are just what? Dildos and dollars. You know what I'm saying? Most men are only dildos and dollars to women. And most men believe that their life's work should be to make themselves have a bigger dildo and have more dollars just to be used by more dames. You know what I'm saying?
And what's the confusing part of that about that too? It's like, as a man, like if I feel like I don't not respect the woman, but if I feel like a woman's leadership, or women have the power to help you in some sense. But I feel like with me, it's like women have they'll budge for everything except for the things that, like, oh, this I can't listen to this part of a man. I can't listen to the positive guidance. But everything else, if I was to lead her negatively or feel like I was doing something to, like, she would build me up. Anything that I asked for, like for myself in a selfish way, she would do. But when it came to her build up, she wouldn't want to put that effort, even if I was like suggesting it. But I didn't really care enough to like build her up. I think I was selfish. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna build her up. But like everything that I suggested for me, she did without question, which is like that's the confusing part of it. You know what I'm saying?
It's only confusing because you don't know what she was getting out of you. You don't even know what women want you for. What do you think women want you for?
I mean, I would say the energy.
The energy?
Like,
What
I
what
feel
energy?
like
Your nervous energy, your sexual energy? What energy? Be specific. What do women want you for?
attention.
Yeah, but my nigga, what kind?
I feel like mm, kind of like how we hold like a woman as a trophy wife. I feel like in that, like, I would be that for women.
Exactly. Very self-aware man, right? You a select man, right? You got, excuse
Facts.
me, you got all the sixes, right? You got all the sixes. So you are the equivalent of a trophy to a chick. But here's the problem. You're not a bitch, you're a man. You're a man. So whether or not you're attractive, you still have to be capable, right? So you have the potential to be wherever it is you want to be in the rung when it comes to your basically your sexual value. But right now, you're not a capable man. You're just an attractive man. You're an attractive man with low standards, right? Why? Because you haven't required shorties to be any more than beautiful. And even that, sometimes you compromise on, right? So that's the thing is that's real shit, bro. And this is and again, I'm not telling you this because I'm any better, right? I'm telling you this because I know better and I'm trying to do better, right? And in a lot of ways, I have mastered
Likewise.
certain shit, but I still face
Likewise.
the same problem. If I'm being clear, I still face the same problem because every man faces this problem, just like every
Yeah.
shorty faces the same problem of having X amount of time to make life altering decisions when it comes to her dating life, right? So
I agree with you.
ultimately, that's what I'm saying is, bro, you Women only want sex out of you, and you haven't even made any requirements to make that possible via their behavior. You just give it to them. So you don't value your physical sexuality, you don't value your sexual attention, you don't value you don't value a lot of things as it pertains to yourself, right? You only
I
believe
feel,
that you're worthy of being a dildo and a dollar, right? So until
I
you
feel like the,
decide
yeah,
you're worthy of being listened to, right? And you can't decide that until you become competent enough to do that, right? Like, for example,
yeah,
I manage the finances, bro. I manage the finances. Every time, every time a dollar comes in, I know where it's coming from and I know what it's going to, whether it's savings, whatever, right? But at all times, I have a capability that I'm responsible for. A lot of guys is like, oh, cook, clean, yada, yada, yada. But y'all don't even know how to cook or clean. So how do you know when she's doing a good or bad job? Right? Y'all
mm,
don't exactly, right? Y'all don't know nothing about that. Bro, I'm a gourmet chef. You know what I'm saying? With healthy ingredients. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big dog. You know what I mean? Like I'm healthy, right? And I cook a lot. I know what ingredients are healthy, what ingredients are not. I know the caloric, quality of all of the food that I take. I know the nutritional quality of all the food that I take. I know the relative price of each store in comparison to whatever I'm buying, right? I know which store is cheaper, which store has better quality. So when a woman's like, "Oh, I'm cooking this," like, "Oh, why should I cook or clean?" Because I'm a gourmet chef and I used to be a janitor. So I'm damn good at cooking, I'm damn good at cleaning, right? So I'm not asking something that, I cannot do, right? If I say, "Hey, the money shouldn't be allocated in this dumb way. It should be allocated in this way," right? I went to school for accounting. I learned about accounting. I managed the books. I can do the math. I can show you how I do the math, right? So competency is a lot like a push-up. I can show you better than I can tell you. A lot of y'all niggas only spent time on the competency of fucking. All of your competency went into how you could fuck a shorty. It went zero of it went into how you can motivate a woman to be a better woman. Not even just for you, just in general. It's not about being a better woman for you. It's about being a better woman, period. Right? Men can make better women, just like women can make better men. We can't be over here talking about how women need to make better sons, but men don't make better daughters. Right?
right,
There's a lot of men out here who are complaining about women and complaining about women and their accountability, but have never held their daughter accountable for anything. Right? It's a lot of shorties who out here complaining about men, right? And how much they need to be more responsible, but they never gave positive male influences in their son's life in order for him to be a more productive member in society. So and this is what happens when we're in the present as adults. We're not thinking about the children, we're not thinking about the parents, right? We're not thinking about our damn self. You need to increase your capability, right? You need to read more. You need to spend more time in mature activities, right? So that you can actually have a moral high ground when you tell your woman to do something, right? My proof of my ability to produce in the past, right, makes it a lot easier for women to trust me in the present because I have a resume. I come in with a resume. I come in with a reputation. I come in with poise. I come in with knowledge. I come in with confidence. I come in with full blown understanding of my own position and where I am and what I'm doing and who I am, right? A lot of y'all niggas only know who you are through your dick. You have not found any other identity other than dick and style, right? Your mind, your soul is hungry. It is hungry. And so, of course, when a woman decides she's going to leave you, whether it be to attract another mate or in spite of you, she's going to look at that as a form of improvement, right? And technically, you proved her right. A woman should be able to feel your absence when you leave, right? Otherwise, you didn't make that much of an impact. And if you didn't make that much of an impact, either you wasted your time or she wasn't the right one for you. But most of the time, men haven't realized, dang, I need to actually become a leader. You need to actually become a leader, right? And that's the thing is because I'll be training a woman and she'll be like, I'm going. I'm like, no, you're not. I know when you're going. Go harder. What do you mean? And I'm like, hey, look, you are paying me for a service to help you become better. If you cannot take this criticism, I think we should sever this professional relationship. That's not something most men have done in their relationships. Y'all don't decide that something is a deal breaker and effectively communicate it and mean it and then stand on it. For every shorty who decided that was a time to get better, there's 15 of them who decided they were going to quit. And I have to let them walk out of the door. But every time I post progress pics or testimonials of women who have already gotten incredible results from listening to regimen and instruction, then they're like, maybe I want to start training with you again. Oh, why? Why? Because you've realized the capabilities in my leadership, right? You've realized the capabilities in my leadership. Ultimately, the effects of your dating life are occurring because you fail to realize that dating is political. You fail to realize that your choices have ripples through time that are extremely difficult to mend after a certain point. Mistakes are costly, especially after a certain point, especially with women. We're talking about babies. We're talking about money. We're talking about it. We're talking about issues that goes very deep in human life and existence. And y'all continue to believe that you can just exist thinking about dating to fuck. And it's time to think about dating for your future, right? And so, yes, these women will level up in your eyes, but in her eyes, it may be she's just trying to get a new man, right? In your eyes, she's just trying to get a new man. But if you're like, man, why do they only level up when they leave me? You should ask yourself what it is about your leadership skills that you need to build in order for her to feel motivated to want to stay with you, in order for her to feel motivated by you. Because I'll tell you what, it's a lot of women I've dated that grew a lot from dating me that I grew from dating them, right? And it's a lot of women who I wasn't dating that ended up growing a lot from my presence because I didn't see them as someone to have sex with. I saw them as someone who is worthy of being built, just like we all are. We were all mentored, we were all parented, and there's two sides to this problem is some men can only see women as gods, some men can only see women as demons, right? And the problem is they're in between. They're human, just like us, right? So ask yourself, can I inspire a woman to be better? And if not, how do I actually talk to women? Do I only know how to inspire women to have sex with me? And even that, I didn't really have to get good at that because I'm already attractive. Right? So it's a skill gap. It's really a skill gap. And that's something, this is now where masculine mastery comes in. You have to increase your skill level, not just lean on your natural gifts of being tall, dark, and handsome, right? Shout out to the night lots. You know what I mean? Tall, dark, and handsome. But you can't lean on those. Now it's time to lean on those other elements. To get money, you have to build a lot of skills to get money. And that's why money is such a quick social proof. Because you have to build a lot of skills to get it. Right. You also have um you also have several other elements like knowing how to talk to people. right? Not sexually, but I mean genuinely, right? Piquing interest of a mature woman who is a sapiosexual, right? A grown woman who may have a network of people that can help you in professionally. That's not something you can just do by turning her on. You have to gain her respect, right? And to gain a professional, woman's respect that has a great CV and has a great resume, you have to be a competent man. And y'all are spending a lot of time on sex, not nearly as much time on competency, right? And so it'll end up biting you in the long run. But is what I'm saying making sense type shit? You hear me?